So you really, when you started working with them, you didn't know, like, you didn't go back to SCTV or
Oh, Saturday Night
Saturday
Live. I
Live.
watched it
Oh,
all.
you've watched it
Yeah.
all now.
I was
And do you
excited.
talk about it with them? And
Yeah, they told me the craziest stories about just how different life was back then, and it seemed a lot less chaotic than it is now.
than it is now. Natalie Portman was here a few weeks ago, and she told me that she nearly attacked Martin Short at the Golden Globes.
Yes.
Did you witness that?
I did.
You did.
Basically, Marty took a picture with Natalie Portman, and then he turns around and he goes, "That was a lovely girl." And I was like, "That was Natalie Portman." He goes, "Oh, she's fantastic. Where did she go?" And he their sweetness and their innocence. It's just so pure. It's so great.
Do you do that for Steve too? Do you translate?
Steve and I are on the same page. When we go to events, we're kind of like, 20 more minutes left. Like, he's relieved.
Does Steve recognize everybody? Do you have to tell him who anyone is?
I mean, I just remember one time, I was telling him about a song, and he said, "What's a Dua Lipa?"
May I ask, how do you answer that question? What is a Dua Lipa?
I said, "Well, an icon." Basically.
Is there anybody, like, when you go to a show like that, is there somebody that you met that you're like, oh my God, for me, this is somebody exciting to meet?
Yeah, this is kind of embarrassing. At the Emmys, every night, this is such a weird habit, but every night I fall asleep to the same show. And it'll either be Friends or something comfy, but lately it's How I Met Your Mother. So I fall asleep every night just watching the show, and I'm a fan. Jason Segel happened to be at the Emmys, and he looked at me, and he started waving, and I was like, "Oh, like, hi." And I slowly realized he was waving to someone behind me, and I was like, "Oh gosh." And he felt awkward and inclined to then come over, and then my boyfriend goes, "Oh, she falls asleep to you every night." And I was like, "That's weird." But I do.
He's just being honest, I guess.